Hello, and welcome to another episode of the You Are Not Alone podcast. My name is Debbie Gold, and I'm here with my co-host and son, Greg, and we are so glad that you're here with us. Each week on this show, we will talk about informative issues that will make you think and help you grow. It is our wish that you will find hope, encouragement, and a little bit of Jesus in every episode.
Welcome back, y'all. We are back with another episode. Today, we're going to be doing self-discipline. So, back in March 2023, we did an episode on self-discipline, and that's what we're going to be doing or talking about today. Make sure to stick around because by the end, you'll learn how to set realistic, well-defined goals for yourself and know techniques that will help you make it to your goal. So,
yeah, that's really important.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, this is the one that I really need to focus on too myself, so it's going to be a good one to just go over. So
yeah, you were recently talking about how you've been feeling kind of self-motivated, and sometimes you need other people around you to help pick you back up, and that's why we're going to do this episode.
Yeah, exactly.
It's good. But I'm also reminded, Greg, of the just a couple months ago it was New Year's, and I know people set goals for New Year's.
I actually didn't do that this year.
No?
No.
Hey.
I fell asleep at like 11 o'clock on New Year's, not gonna lie. I didn't even stay up for it, and I was like, I don't got time for that.
Did you, so you fell asleep and maybe you were feeling not motivated.
Not motivated. I don't know.
And not self-disciplined to set some goals for yourself?
Maybe.
I don't know.
I don't know. It was a good night.
Yeah. Cool. Well, as long as it was a good night. That's the most important thing. So reminded that there's probably people out there right now going, yeah, I did set that goal and I already dropped it or I already gave it up or, however we do that with our stuff.
Right.
So I think this is a really good time for this topic. It's specific right now, especially for you, but I know you're not the only one out there that has things that they really want to accomplish and start working on. So
yeah.
Anyway, so let's see. I think let's just kind of break down a little bit about how this will look today in this episode. Mm-hmm. First, we're going to look at a system that's going to help our listeners and us set clear and well-defined goals. And then we're going to look at ways that we can keep ourselves motivated while we're working on those goals and trying to get across that finish line. Mm-hmm. Okay. So first we all need goals, right? And Greg, I know you have one in mind. Maybe just say what that is right now, just to give an example.
Just getting back into the gym for me. So.
Okay. Wonderful. And y'all may already have a goal. If you do, write it down or, get that in your head, what that is. And if you don't, I just want to throw out a few ideas. So one could be maybe start a hobby. Mm-hmm. What else do you think?
Cleaning the house. I don't know.
Keeping the house clean.
Sure, something like that.
I don't know. It might be a tough one. Getting in shape, kind of along the lines of you. Reading more was one of mine. And
cutting out social media, maybe.
Yeah.
Like yeah.
Or limiting or figuring out a way to
limit yourself on that.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Reading. So I got into a book club, which, I've been reading more. So that's wonderful. Mm-hmm. It's very relaxing. Getting organized.
That's good.
Mm-hmm. I feel like I'm doing so many things right now that my world.
You are kind of juggling like 8 different balls right now.
8 different balls.
Yeah. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah, I've got different jobs and we're keeping this podcast moving and because it's really important to us and a lot going on.
Yeah.
So maybe it's finding a church home. Maybe it's improving my grades. Maybe it's having quiet time on a regular basis or improving my finances. So there's a lot of things. Volunteering more in the community.
There's so many goals you can set.
Yeah, for sure. So anyway, hopefully that's been a little helpful to run through that. But let's go ahead and get started with, there's a system that will help you clearly define your goal, and it's called SMART. And the SMART is an acronym, and so let's go ahead and break that down. So the S stands for specific. Basically, what is your goal? Mm-hmm. So when you say, I want to do a good job at my work. Well, what does a good job mean? You want to get, you want to be able to define that better.
More specific. Yeah.
More
Break
specific.
it down. Yeah.
So, what is it that you really want to accomplish? And we really want to look here at quality, quantity, cost, your time, percentage of change. So it's kind of that quantitative thing to help define that. So when you say, when you want to have quiet time on a regular basis, well, what does that mean? Is that 3 times a day or 3 times a week or 3 times a day?
Right.
Or is that every day? What does that look like for you? That's kind of a good example of to start thinking and going down that path. And then the M stands for motivating. So is this goal meaningful to you?
Is it high on your priority?
Yeah. Is it going to benefit? Is it going to benefit me, or is it going to drain me?
Exactly.
Let's not set ourselves up for a goal that is just going to be
drag you down,
be impossible. I mean, no one's going to be good about that.
Not fun. So,
no,
yeah,
not fun. Achievable is the A in SMART. Is it realistic? Is it reasonable? Is it within your control to do that?
Yeah, some people start small, and that's smartest thing to do, I think, sometimes, because some people dream too big, so almost unrealistic.
Well said. Yeah, I'm glad you threw that in there for sure.
Yeah.
Relevant is the R, and that is, is the goal something that will benefit your life? Is it relevant?
Is it relevant to helping you in
does
life?
Does it apply to your world?
To your situation.
And then is it trackable? This is another important thing. How are you going to track your progress?
That's important. Yeah. Because you need to keep up with it. So. Yeah,
for sure. And so you got to have a way to do that. So let me share an example of mine, personal examples, just sort of to give you an idea. And when I did this myself, it was pretty it was very eye-opening and enlightening. So back in the fall, I started a job. I was done being stay-at-home mom. Yeah. And I needed something new in my life.
That's funny that you just said that it was eye-opening, because it really was for you, I feel like. Because, you had days where you'd come home and you'd be like, I had a little test today and stuff, and I thought I did so well, but I got a 70, and I'm like, this is hard. I see where my kid's getting it. I was like, after years, thank you.
It helped me see I'm not so perfect.
Yeah,
right?
Yeah. So, it's hard, yeah. So...
But I love my job. So I love my job at the bank.
Yeah.
And it's a teller position. It's, and it's a great place for me to be right now, and gets me out of the house. It's part-time. And anyway, so my goal, I was talking to my boss. You do these little reviews, and we decided one of my goals should be to be teller independent. So, because I'd be doing some of the teller duties, and then I would stop and question myself, or I reach out to him to come help me with something that I already probably knew.
You just wanted to double check it.
Yeah. And so he said, let's get you teller independent. And that means I could do all the duties or do teller duties on my own without asking for help. And so saying it that way, is that specific?
I mean...
to be teller independent, is that specific?
Yes and no. I don't know. It's kind of broad, but...
Well, let's go to specific. So what is the S in SMART says? Is it quantitative? Is it qualitative?
Well, I mean, it also says, what is the goal? Teller independent.
Well, it is to be teller independent, and that's great, and that's a perfect goal, but let's get it more narrowed down. So we want to look at, well, does that mean I'm going to do all my duties teller independent? Does that mean I want to do half of my duties teller independent?
Yeah, wouldn't it mean you do all of them?
Yeah, well, for me, it meant for me.
Yeah.
It could be different for everybody. Maybe
for your
the next person is like, I just want to know 50% of the teller duties. Every possible thing I would have to do as a teller would be, I could do it independently.
Like I said, start small, 50%.
For me, I went big. I said, I want all.
Yeah, exactly.
So anyway, so that's a example of how mine turned out, I guess. I got a little sidetracked here. So to be teller independent. So, but what I meant was, okay, I want to do all these things on my own. So it was very vague. So I had to define teller independent. And what that meant for me, like we just talked about, is I need to do all the duties that a teller does independently. And then we kind of skip ahead and then we go to trackable. So you want to look at, is it specific? Is it trackable? So you want the S and the T. Is it trackable? It wasn't trackable because I didn't put a time frame on it.
Right.
Okay. So I would say no, it wasn't specific and it wasn't trackable. And then you also look at the MAR in the middle. And was it motivating? Yes, it was for me. Achievable? Absolutely. Was it relevant? Totally. So those were fine, but I needed to get that specific and trackable better. And so what I came up with was, let me see if I remember, to be able to do all teller duties independently by May 20th of 2024, which would be my 6 months of working at the bank.
Perfect.
So I was able to really define that better. And now I know my goal. I'm going to be able to do all teller duties by May 20th.
By that date. Yeah. Perfect.
And that feels very doable. Now I know I have a direction. I know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
So love it.
You have a path in front of you. So
anyway, so I think if we want to, Greg, right now, maybe just take yours, for example. Go ahead and I'm going to just write your goal down here.
Go for it.
What did you say?
Getting back in the gym.
Getting back in the gym. Okay. Getting back in the gym. Okay. So I don't feel that is specific, and I don't feel that's trackable. So it's not specific because you're not saying what you want to do at the gym. I get that you want to go to the gym and you want to improve.
Build muscle for Vegas of April 12th.
Okay. So you want to build muscle. You want to go back to the gym. So to build muscle, okay, where? Arms, legs.
Arms,
neck.
upper, lower body, yeah.
Upper, lower body, okay.
Both are important.
Upper, lower body. And there's more specific there. How often do you want to go?
I'd say
to make that happen.
Three times a week, I'd say.
You've been to the gym before. You were really into it when you were at Mary Hardin Baylor.
I'd say like 3 times a week, I'd say.
Okay, so 3 times a week for you. Okay. And by when? This is going to be your trackable.
So like... Oh, yeah.
So we are going to...
Oh, the trackable thing?
Yeah.
Oh, like how will my progress be measured?
So, yeah, and when do you want it by? When do you want to have this goal accomplished? I think we need to maybe define...
I'd say by April, yeah.
So all right, listeners, Greg and...
Oh, yeah, me and my buddy are going
and Mom and Dad.
And Mom and Dad, let's not forget. We're going to Las Vegas for my 21st birthday, so it's going to be super fun, so...
I
want to get ready for that by prepping for the gym, so...
Yeah.
There you go.
There we go. All right, and we are leaving on the 12th of April. So I would say, by the 11th of April?
Yeah, or... No, just by the month April comes around, I want to be ready.
So by April 1?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So you want to go to the gym 3 times a week in order to build upper and lower body muscles. Okay. And you is there a way to define how much you want to build? I don't know how to measure that. Do you?
You can see how your progress is with weights over time, Like let's say you start off and you get a 25-pound bar at the beginning, and then by April 1st I'm doing a 45-pound bar. I doubled it, So I can track it by that sometimes. That's how I usually do it. So
okay, so you're going to track it by how much your weight.
Pretty much how much I'm using. How much
you're using, and you would maybe a weekly log, suppose?
Yeah, I guess so.
Keep a weekly log.
I kind of keep in my head what weight I do, It's kind of just in there. So it's for bench, I know what I can do and what I can't do. So
okay, so if we were to rewrite this, can you help with that?
Sure.
How would that look instead of getting back to the gym? Now, what would that look like? and rewrite.
Building muscle by the beginning of April on I guess just body or side. I don't have to say upper and lower, just on my body.
Mm-hmm.
Because I really work a lot of different muscles.
So upper and lower, well, okay. So build muscle mass
Yeah.
on upper and lower body by April 1st by attending the gym 3 times a week.
Yeah.
Okay. Perfect. Yeah, and you don't have to define. It's hard to define how much muscle you're going to build because that's going to be kind of what your body does.
Right.
You can't really define that.
It's
you
not
just know you're going to be building.
It's not solidified, yeah.
Yeah, it's not a exact science there.
Yeah.
Okay, wonderful. That's a great goal. And then so we got specific and now we have trackable. And is it motivating? Let's go back to the MAR in the middle. Is it motivating?
Extremely.
Is it going to it's going to benefit or is it going to drain you?
Yeah. I mean, looking in the mirror and just seeing the progress is motivating, so.
That's wonderful. That's like, that's your evidence right there.
Exactly.
Look in the mirror.
Yeah, pretty much.
I love that. Okay, and then achievable. Is it a goal that's realistic, reasonable, achievable?
Easy.
Is it in your control? Yeah. Okay. Is it relevant?
Pretty much, yeah.
Is it something that's going to benefit your life?
I got a trip coming up, so might as well look better for it.
That's
so,
right.
Yeah.
We got some pool time.
Exactly. So,
going on.
It'll be fun.
All right. Wonderful. Excellent. So getting back to the gym, I think you defined it better by giving a time frame, saying how many times a week you're going to go, and that you want to build body mass throughout your whole body. And you're not just going to focus on arms. You want to focus on the whole thing, whatever.
Yeah.
So, so very good. Very obtainable, very doable. So I hope that helps you all. I know that's a lot of information. I think we should move on to, so how do we stay motivated while we're working through these goals of ours?
Yeah, that is true.
So the first thing, we have 3 things we want to talk about. First thing is keep your eye on the end goal. And I like to always picture and imagine what it will be like for me. So like, I can't wait till I just get to whip through transactions with customers. I'm having a good time chatting it up. And I don't have to worry about, oh gosh, I forgot how to do this. Or, oh, I don't know how to do this. You know, it's just that confidence.
No, exactly. So
I always like to, look at myself back, in March or in, May and say, I'm just whipping through, life will be easy, breezy.
Yeah.
So, but also using, I think, positive self-talk, while you're keeping your eye on the end goal, because sometimes we're going to have a little setback, right?
Reinforce yourself, yeah.
Yeah.
Don't be too hard on yourself, because a lot of people are, so.
Yeah, exactly.
Because, at least we're working towards something, right? With a path, so.
And we are not perfect. God did not make us that way.
Yeah.
So just to be able to say, hey, I maybe I didn't work as hard today at the gym in your example.
Everyone has an off day.
And that, thank you. You, I love that.
Yeah.
You say that. That's your little motto or mantra. That's okay. So I'm going to do it different next time. No big deal. Don't beat yourself up.
Yeah.
So that's sort of like keeping your picture, being positive about it. When you take a little step back, don't be hard on yourself.
Right.
So the second thing in staying motivated would be to set aside time to reflect. And, this is really good. And it can be hard because we're not used to doing it. And there's so much stuff and buzz going around all the time in our minds. And we're thinking about things all the time. But just to sit and spend a little time to reflect and, turn off all that noise. Just sit by yourself in quiet. And do you have...
I do have quiet time.
Do you?
I do.
What is that like for
driving
you?
in my truck at night. I love it. So
Yeah.
I just have how I have the little inside lights on my truck sometimes? Where I have the colors that switch and stuff. I just get on some music or a podcast and just drive and it's just calming. So
yeah,
I love it. So, and then I know you have your morning time and stuff. I hear you sometimes. So you love that.
Yeah, I do. I have my little time I spend with God and And I think it's important during those times to think about, what you struggle with and the things that you want in life. Because we all want things in life and we all struggle with things. So, just to be open and to really put that out there. And once you start thinking about those kind of things, you can start coming up with ideas on how to make those things different for yourself.
Yeah.
And I do that. I do keep a prayer journal, and I spend time with God, and I just talk to him about what I've written down. And it's pretty amazing. It keeps me on track for my day, but it also, I feel like God moves me and keeps me going.
Yeah.
On those things. And the last thing is, to look for your successes along the way. So between now and then, Greg, or
look at the little ups, right?
The little ups, absolutely. Like for me, between now and May, I already see a ton of changes and a ton of positive, and I need to focus on that to get through those days when I go, oh, it was not so good today.
Yeah.
So, but I had to remember that, I am successful. I'm learning, and it's a continued path of growth.
Exactly. Yeah.
But one example recently, I just want to share. Greg and I noticed with our podcast, we've been doing some work on it, and trying to bring in more listeners,
build a bigger community. Yeah.
And we recently rewrote our podcast description, and we've seen an increase in downloads because of that. And that's just so motivating, and it makes me and Greg want to just keep working at ways that we can improve so that we can obtain our goal of reaching more people, because we want to help more people. So
also seeing that the graph where we had the different listeners from different places and stuff, that was pretty cool, because we don't just have people in Texas and stuff. We have people from all over, surprisingly. So
all over the country and all over the world.
All over the world, actually. Yeah.
So it's pretty cool. And it just it's another encouraging thing that will keep us wanting to keep doing more and more and more.
Keep building.
Yeah. Because it takes a lot of effort and time to do what we're doing. And just like any goal, I don't want to minimize anybody. It takes effort and time, and you got to look for those little successes along the way.
Yeah, but they're there.
They are for sure there. Anyway, I hope this was helpful to y'all. It's a lot of information. I would love to figure out a way to get and that will be coming next, a way to get like a document out there that talks about the SMART system.
Oh, yeah.
So that it's maybe a lot of information. Mostly just remember the S and the T, specific and trackable, and try to write your goal with those things in mind. And then just make sure it's something that applies to you, that's important to you, and it's not going to suck your time and drag you down, but it's going to lift you up.
Exactly.
And so anyway,
please make sure to subscribe, write a review, and share with your people.
Yeah.
This was a great episode. So.
Yeah. Thank you all for listening to You Are Not Alone. We really appreciate y'all, and we'll
catch you later.
catch you later.
Yeah.
All right. Take care.